Hey, oh my, has it been forever? Hey everyone, how are you? I pray with every vessel of my being that you are doing well. You are doing extremely well this last month of 2020. So, as we get all our kinks and all that stuff together for 2021, I wanted to share something with you. And like I said, I will continue to share with you till the end of the year so that we can get our 2021 started the way it's supposed to start, right? Because here, that's what we're here for. So my name is Victoria once again, and here on this channel, we are here to live a better lifestyle, to manage our finances, and to produce growth, because that's what it's about. That's what this whole thing is about. So let's get it going. So first thing I want to share with you, and I pray that you take what you need, and then you make room and put the rest somewhere so that in the future you have it already invested in you. During my life, I have gotten so much advice. I have gotten advice from some exceptional people, and the advice I received, some was good for that time, and some I just kept in me, and I just used them when the time was needed. I always say you take advice from everyone. It doesn't mean you have to do what they're telling you to do, but it's okay to listen and get advice from people, because everyone sees things differently, and sometimes it can help you see things a different kind of way, right? So the first thing I would tell you, and this is something that it took me a long time to really understand, but life is not easy. Okay? Life is not easy for anyone. I know sometimes we look at other people and we look at their lives and their finances and their marriage and how they live or where they live and what they drive and all these things, and we think, dag, so and so got it made. But to be completely honest with you, everyone is fighting a battle that you don't know about. Everyone has their own demons to deal with. Everyone has something that keeps them up here and there at night. Everyone has something to deal with, no matter how good they portray it or how good they make it look. Some of us don't need to look like what we're going through to get by. Some don't need to have it written all over the forehead situation to face every single day. Some people shadow it very, very, very well. And I commend those people. I commend the people who get up and face life every single day as if nothing is going on, because that's how you have to do it. You can't go through life boo-hoo-hooing and always having a pity party for every situation you face. It doesn't work like that, so there's always something, and you want to keep in mind that no matter how tough you might have it, there is someone who has it worse. There is someone who is dealing with much worse than you. Being a member of the healthcare field, I deal with all kinds of people all day, like all kinds of walks of life, young, old, white, black, rich, poor, all kinds of people. And you know what? Sometimes you have to be grateful of something as simple and overlooked as your health. Yes, I don't have all the money I want to have right now, but I thank God for my health, because I have people who I deal with and they have money. They can pay for the services that they need. But the fact that they have to be there, like for example, we have the dialysis, who has to come in every other day and spend 6 hours at the facility getting dialysis. Now, thank God they have the money, because insurance doesn't cover that 100%. So thank God they have the money to pay for their dialysis. But at the same time, who wants to have to take all that time out of their lives? I'm pretty sure they would much rather be somewhere else doing something else. So that's really something you want to think about when you think about how life is not easy, and it's not easy for anyone, okay? Number 2, I would suggest you take into 2021 with you is to let people be people. Stop trying to change people. You are not going to change anyone. You are grown. They are grown. You need to accept people for who they are if you choose to have that person in your life. And if whatever that person has done or is doing or whatever the case might be is too much for you to deal with, then you need to let that person go. But stop trying to change people. You cannot change anyone, and that's just it. You cannot change anyone. You cannot raise anyone. You cannot educate anyone. Like I always tell people, like, and I always use it as an example. And I had to ask, like, yo, can I use an example with my stuff, because you be killing me. So I have a dear friend of mine, and I love her like she's a sister. You know, I'm a sisterly person, and she is my sister. I can call her right now, like, yo, can you come get these kids? And she's on her way. Like that. Like, we have the most amazing relationship. But my sister is horrible with time. You know, if I need her for something for any reason whatsoever, or if we have to go somewhere, or is there something for us to do, I'm lucky if she's within the hour. Like, seriously. Like, I'm lucky. Like, if it's around 7, I'm lucky if she's not there by 8:15. Like, she's just so horrible with time. And she has tried the whole alarm clock process. She has tried everything I could think of, like preparing her stuff the night before or whatever it is. But homegirl can't get to anywhere on time. So I just deal with that accordingly. I know if there's anything I need to do, I know how I have to time her, like 30 minutes in advance, or let her know an hour in advance, or whatever it is. But I love her, and I love having her around. So I'm not going to try to change her or preach to her or let her know that her timing is this. No, that's not my job. She's a person. She's a grown-ass woman, and I can't raise her, and I can't do that. So I choose to deal with her the way that she is. And that's how I tell you with anyone in your life. You are not going to change anyone. The only person you can change and you can fix and you can put order in are your offsprings. If you have children, those are the ones you can do anything with. But your husband, you know, your spouse or whatever like that, sometimes you have to deal with them accordingly. Some things they'll make a change, some things they won't. And that's just how life is. You will be a miserable behind person if you spend life trying to change people. You know, that's just how it is, you know. Number 3, you define your own success. That's just it. Go into 2021 understanding that you define your own success. What is successful is what you say is successful. What success looks like is what you say for yourself what success looks like. It's not what everyone is telling you it looks like. It's not what your father portrays it as looking like. It's not what anyone says it is. It's what you say it is, you know. And I'll take myself, for example. I work. My husband works. We have a home. We have children. I'm in school. You know, we have the things that we need. We can eat what we want. We can do somewhat of the things that we want. And to me, I live a successful life. That's me. Now, someone else might look at my life and think, well, Dad, you're not even done with your bachelor's. Or your husband only has, you know, certain a high school education, for example. Or, you know, you guys don't have this, or you guys don't have that. Or how can you consider yourself successful? I consider myself successful because I consider myself successful. I'm getting a little frustrated. I consider myself successful because I say I'm successful. That's why I consider myself where I need to be, because I say it is. We are so caught up in what people tell us or what we need to be or what we need to be doing that we don't get to live our lives where we're at. And we don't get to enjoy the moment of where we're at because we're so caught up in trying to satisfy or trying to reach a plateau or trying to justify what people think is successful. No, I define my success. If I decide to stop at my bachelor's and work the rest of my life, that is my success. That ain't got nothing to do with you. And if I had decided to stop at my high school diploma and just decide to grow within a company, that is still successful. That has nothing to do with you. Don't have a right to tell me what success is. I define my success and you define your success. And when you reach to where you feel like you are there, baby, you are there. That is it. That is it, okay? 4, Your life is not a popularity contest. Okay? If you don't take nothing else into 2021, let me tell you something. You are not in a popularity contest. You are not walking around competing with everyone else around you in life. And I'm not talking about career-wise. I'm not talking about anything. I'm talking about in life in general. I know it's so easy to scroll through what social media has pertained as the doorway to life. You know, your social media, or maybe not yours, but a lot of people use their Facebook and their Instagram as a doorway to their life. You know, and they post everything they got going on, and other people are looking like, dang, like, you know, so-and-so gets more likes than me, and so-and-so this, and so-and-so that. Who cares? My Instagram page, that's where I do that's my page. And it's private. So I don't allow anyone to see who I don't allow to see. And I have maybe 1,000 something people on there, you know, and I get maybe a couple of likes here and there. And it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me because I'm not in a competition. My life is fine. My life is great. I am satisfied with what's going on with me and what I'm doing. And if no one feels the need to like that, that's okay. You don't have to like it because I love it. And that's just it. And that's how you got to view things, you know. There's an old saying that says, you like it, I love it. You know, like, you don't have to like it. I'm not looking for that because I love it. I love it every single day I wake up and face it. And that's all that needs to matter. Your life is not a popularity thing. It's not a competition step. Don't compete with everyone else because you'll never make it. You won't live in competition, constantly in competition with anyone else whatsoever, you know. So, number 5. Check your soul. Constantly check your soul. Constantly stop and reevaluate you and make sure that you are where you want to be and where you need to be spiritual wise and soul wise. You know, we're all, you know, working on greatness. We're all trying to build great things, whether it be your health, whether it be career wise, whether it be relationship wise, you know, whether it be so much different dynamics, you know, out there. But sometimes we forget to stop and check ourselves. You know, stop and reevaluate and see how this is doing. You know, are you positive? You know, are you spreading positivity in this world? This world has enough negative people. We don't need another one, you know. So, you know, rethink things. You know, are you saying the best things with your mouth? Are you feeding people greatness with your mouth? Or are you speaking negativity into this world? You know, are you another person who's constantly just taking somebody else down because you down, or bringing other people down because you think that's going to help you get on top of somebody else? You know, are you someone who's always bitter and nasty and then just all these things? Like, sometimes you need to reevaluate your soul, and before you enter 2021, sit with yourself and think, you know what, have I said things I shouldn't have been saying? You know, have I engaged in certain conversations that I should not have been engaging in? You know, like, you want to reevaluate those things. You know, you want to check your soul and make sure your soul is where it needs to be, because everything else, you know, you're checking off your list. Check you, you know. All right. all right. So moving down line. All right. Number 6. Yes. Number 6 for 2021. Listen. Appreciate people for the small stuff that they do. Okay? Appreciate people, because no one owes you anything. Okay? No one. No. Stop right there. No one owes you a daggone thing. So when someone steps out, or when someone does something for you, take some time and appreciate what is done. Take some time and appreciate that person for what they did. You know, and it could be just a simple thank you. Like, I'm someone, I thank you while you're doing it for me. I thank you when you're done. And sometimes when I go back and think about what you did, I might send you a text and thank you again, you know? And the reason why I'm like that is because, like, there was a time when no one did nothing for me. There was a time where it's just me doing every tad bit thing you can think of that I needed to do. So when someone does come around and does do something for me, I rejoice. I rejoice in what was done, you know, and I'm very big on considering people, you know, in my life for what they do for me. Like, really, really big on that. So that's something you want to bring into 2021, is just being a grateful person and just thanking people for the things that they do for you, you know, no matter how small it is, you know. Number 7. So number 7, know where you're supposed to be. And know that everywhere is not for you. Okay? Every place is not for you. Every conversation is not for you to indulge in. You know, every gathering, everything is not for you. You have to be someone with some kind of character that can say, you know what? No, that's not for me. That's not my surrounding. Those are not my people. No, I don't belong there, you know. Or if you're in a conversation and the conversation just went real sour, excuse yourself. Like, no. Because you want your presence to be fragile. You want your presence to be, you know, you got to protect that. So that, God forbid, anything was to go back, you're known for someone who, you know, like, nah, that's not her. No, you want to have that character where someone can say, that's not Victoria, though. No, Victoria wouldn't be caught dead. Or, you know, you want to have that character where someone can say, you know, wow, that's not you, you know. But when you're someone who's all up in everything, always got, you know, saying it's hard for someone to distinguish what's not you and what's you, you know. And even though you feel like you're grown and that's not really anyone's business, I'm sorry. I'm in the car and I'm sitting on the side of the road, and I just have to constantly watch my surroundings. But yeah, like, you want to be someone who's not always in the mix kind of person, you know. And if you were someone who was like that before, that's something you kind of want to bring to 2021. That's advice I received, you know, along my years, like just not being in the mix all the time and not always being in everyone's sauce, you know. Like, that's not it. You know, always caught up in everything. All right, so the next one is know what brings out the best in you and know who brings out the best in you. Okay, you want to know in life what's good for you and what's not good for you. You know, you want to know who's good for you and who's not good for you. That's very important. You can't be someone who doesn't know what's going on. You don't want to be someone. You don't want to be someone who's, you know, like, doesn't really know, you know, who their friends are or who can be trusted. Like, and even though life has a way of surprising you, and yes, it's true, people are deceiving, but you want to know what's good for you. Like, when so-and-so's around, you know, does so-and-so motivate me? Does so-and-so encourage me? Does so-and-so want to make me want to do better with myself? Or does so-and-so drain me? Does this person make me feel weak all the time? Or does this person aggravate me all the time? Or does this person make me feel like a nobody all the time? You know, those are things you want to consider when you decide who's around you and who's not around you. You know, how people make you feel and how they absorb your energy and what kind of energy they give off is very, very important. You want to get into that. You want to see how you feel when you're around certain people. You know, if you're trying to leave something or quit something or get away from something, and people know, for example, let's say you're trying to quit smoking cigarettes, for example, and everyone knows, hey, Victoria's trying to quit them Lucy's, like Victoria's trying to put down, you know, smoking cigarettes. And it's interesting, every time you get around certain people, they're smoking around you. Now, yes, they are grown, and yes, they can do whatever they want, and yes, you have to excuse yourself, but at the same time, Are these people considering the fact that you're trying to let go of something? No. Are they understandable, like, oh, Jag, Victoria, yeah, you're trying to quit. You know what? I'm going to step outside. Think about those people. Think about the one that be like, oh, Victoria's trying to quit. So can y'all take this in the back? Because, you know what I'm saying, we going to chill right here. When y'all done, y'all come back, It's not a big deal. You shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? Think about those people. Those are the people that consider you. And those are the people you want to keep in your atmosphere because they consider you. They think about what you got going on and what's affecting you. And those are the right kind of people you want to keep around because they consider you. They're the right people to have around. So you want to know who's your people. You want to know that. You have to know that. Who's your people? Who brings out the best in you? Who motivates you? Like, oh, girl, you quitting? I know that's right. Girl. I can't wait for me to get on that quitting stuff too, because I don't have no business doing all of this. Yep, girl, I am so with it. You know what I'm saying? They're there. The last one. I feel like I've been talking forever, and I hope I'm giving you good stuff. I hope I'm really giving you good stuff. But this one is very, very important, and it's because I had a hard time with this one. I really did. Man, I was a really messed up individual. Like when I think about who I used to be, and I've always been a great person, don't get me wrong. I've always been a great person, but I've had some really bad habits that I needed to kick, and I need to kick fast. Especially if I was preparing to be someone's wife and be people's mothers, So the last one is, don't leave crumbs in your life. Don't go around leaving crumbs. And what I mean by that is don't go around having issues with all these different kind of people. Don't go around having problems with all these different kind of people. Don't go around just doing everybody wrong. And I necessarily didn't go around doing everybody wrong. I think my biggest issue is when something happened between me and someone, I didn't know how to address it. I didn't know how to explain how I felt or tell that person, what you did bothered me or, things like that. So my best bet was just stop talking to you. I just stopped speaking to you. Whether sometimes it wasn't even something that was done to me. I did something to somebody. But because they didn't answer the way I wanted them to answer, or just because they didn't receive it, or because it didn't go down the way I wanted to go down, I stopped speaking to that person. And that's one. Now that's somebody else. Now that's someone I don't speak to, and it would lead to another person I don't speak to, and another person I don't speak to. I had a whole bunch of people I just don't talk to. And at that time, it didn't matter to me. Because I was good with making new friends and I didn't care. And I have a new friend. And who cares? I have a new friend. But I didn't understand that I was just leaving a trail of people I just don't talk to. And when I got to a certain point in my life, I didn't want to do that anymore. And it took time for me to sit down and really realize that I was oversensitive sometimes, or I misunderstood things a little bit too often, or whatever the case may be. I had to do some soul searching, and realize that you can't go around burning all these bridges and leaving all this crumbs around. You leaving pieces of you all over the place, and everybody got a story to tell about you. And everybody, when someone else meets you, they be like, Victoria, let me tell you, like, don't be that. So you don't want to be that person. Then where you gonna go? You gonna leave the state and go to another state, and if that's a habit that's in you, you gonna start that stuff all over in Georgia, and then you gonna have it in Alabama, and you're gonna be like that in Boston, and you're gonna be like that in Jersey, and you're gonna be like that. You're gonna be wherever you go if that's something that's in you that you have to correct in you. You don't want to be that person. So I pray that the advice I laid before you today, that some of it you can take with you as you prepare yourself for this new year that we are about to face. And even if some of it doesn't have anything to do with you right now, maybe you can help somebody else with it. Like, share, comment, spread the news, spread the word, and you never know who you might be helping. Or you might help your future self. your 3-year self or your 5-year self, with a situation, and you keep this advice in the back of your mind, because that's what I do. I keep it and I remember it and I meditate on it, and I remember I remember the day when someone told me this and someone told me that. So I pray nothing but goodness is at your door. And I pray that nothing but good stuff is happening in your life as we prepare for this new year, because I know 2020 was something else. Girl, boy, it really was something else. So we will talk soon. We will talk very soon. Until then, take care of yourself.